Well, it's first thing in the morning, and I'm not really a morning person. And so I'm dressed apart in old clothes. And I'm here to introduce my attempt at an oak guitar. And one reason I built this, well, I always like a challenge in guitar making. And I'd heard from my brother, among other people, that they'd never heard a good sounding oak guitar and they didn't think it was possible to do it, which to me is ridiculous. Of course it's possible to do it. And the main thing is that you have to know what you're doing with materials. And I've been recently doing a number of instruments that are what would fall into the heavy category, at least to me. They're not necessarily heavy, but they're built heavily. So the sides, for example, have full lining on them, which means the lining is not just this big and goes around the top and the back, but it's this big and it completely covers the sides on the inside. So when you look inside, you don't see lining. Actually, all you see is lining on the sides. You don't see the sides at all. And so I've been doing that on all the most recent guitars I've been building. And I like the effect that it's giving me. And also the backs I've been making fairly thick. Relatively thick at least. Usually when you're a guitar maker, you're looking at making backs that are under 2.8 millimeters thick, for example, to get them to vibrate. And I've been doing the opposite recently. I've been matching the stiffness of a piece of Brazilian rosewood I have that is 2.8 millimeters thick. And that means that virtually every other wood I use that's softer than that and lighter weight than that ends up being over 3 millimeters thick. So in this case, about 3.2 millimeters thick. That's pretty thick, but it retains that stiffness of a relatively thick piece of Brazilian rosewood. At any rate, this is a double top, as most of my guitars are nowadays, and it has Alaskan yellow cedar on the front and western red cedar on the back. Now, one of the unique properties of Alaskan yellow cedar is that it's extremely flexible across the grain, and so it has a very bright sound as a result. I should mention that the fretboard on this is Macassar ebony. It is a true ebony. Smells, works like regular ebony, but is not always dark black. In fact, seldom is dark black. I've seldom seen truly dark black Macassar ebony. And I've used an oil finish on the whole thing. I've left the holes, the grain open. Red oak is notorious for its wide open grain, and it is. So anyway, let's hear a sample of what this sounds like. I should mention that this guitar was strung up a day and a half ago. It is as green as they come. I've done a little bit of adjustment on the action, so the strings have been on and off a few times. And it's a very interesting sounding guitar. It's loud. It projects very well. And it's going to be quite a plum for someone to pick. So hopefully you can see that. The medullary raise there, circle around the lower bout. You can see the raise here across the sides. Very attractive wood, I think. I like oak as a natural look. I have not stained this at all. It only has the oil varnish on it. So there you have it. Not totally done, but really close. Ready for people to take a look at.